This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is a violation of the law.
You are looking live at Grinnell High School Senior High Gymnasium. Good evening, everybody. John Martinson with you on this Thursday night of Grinnell Tiger wrestling action. As I'm joined by longtime wrestling official, I call him wrestling guru, Dave Kaizen on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Dave, thanks again. God, this is great. It's back together again for the first time in been a few years, Dave.
It's been and we're going to get started with some JV matches right away, as we have three young men that are going to wrestle, or three people that are going to wrestle some JV matches, and then we'll go into the varsity.
All right, and I believe the first match will be, it is Ryan Galen from Grinnell, and I know that first match will be, double check that, Brecken Turner, I believe, the junior from Norwalk, excuse me. Our official is David McCluskey from West Des Moines. He's refereed here in the past. Norwalk has a pretty salty wrestling team again this year, a team that's defending state wrestling champion, or not, defending conference champions. Of course, they're a 3A classification. They go at least 2 deep, if not 3 deep, in about every weight class. They are coached by Jacob Brown. Coach Brown in his first year as head wrestling coach. He's been with the program the last 6 years under Coach Brandon Schmitz. His assistants are Ryan Thompson, Eric Engel, Wes Duncan, and Matthew Cartwright. Tony Farmer, the head Grinnell wrestling coach. First year as head coach. He's been with the program 20 years under Chad Beck, and we have the JV match going on. And this is not good here for the Grinnell wrestler. What was the move there, Dave?
He did a nice single, but he got in, and the guy used a counter that went around his head, and he was able to counter and take him straight down to his back, and was pinned in 48 seconds.
48 seconds time of the pin, so that's the first of 3 matches right away for the JV. I know one of the JV wrestlers from Norwalk is going to wrestle twice, is my understanding. Okay, so Ryan Gallian from Grinnell will wrestle this next match. And for Norwalk, it'll be Jason Stolo, who's a first year. And Gallian from Grinnell is also a first year. And these are natural 120-pounders that are wrestling on the mat here in this second JV matchup. We'll have the varsity matchup as well. Mentioned Coach Farmer. He came to Grinnell in 1999. He came for a year, then went to Cuba City, Wisconsin, and also coached at Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Came back in 02-03, back to Grinnell. Of course, he did serve time in Iraq as well, did Coach Farmer, in the Army. And so 20 years that Tony Farmer's been here at Grinnell High School.
These guys are just doing collar tie, trying to open up an opportunity for him to shoot.
So 40 seconds gone in this first period of the second JV matchup, Grinnell and Norwalk on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. It's a pretty good crowd in front of us from Grinnell. That's always that never ceases to amaze. That there's always the good crowds that show up for Grinnell multi-team tournaments, duels, and what kind of move there, Dave? Looks like the Norwalk young man got a nice move that time.
He did a really nice single, and Grinnell was not able to counter it, was able to take him down, and is breaking him down with he changed his move. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
He changed it from going for a chicken wing to going for a half.
And now he's got a near fall situation here.
Grinnell boy wants to look into the half and doesn't want to peel the half off. He's going to look at the lights, and that's exactly what he did.
And the time, about 1:31. The time of the pin for the Norwalk wrestler, but that was, again, Jackson Stolo. So Norwalk has won the first 2 JV matches in the first period. Chad Rose is on the PA. Okay, this is. Okay, so this is Stolo coming in from Norwalk, and then Josh Cresilius, who's a first year. So Grinnell, with not a great deal of JV wrestlers added tonight.
Doesn't have a lot of numbers,
Yeah,
but
unfortunate, yeah.
this is a good way for the young men to get experience.
Yep.
You know, it's really hard to find JV tournaments that you can take him to. Grinnell boy does a nice job of pushing into him.
Oh,
unfortunately, the Norwalk guy counters that and takes him down to his back.
And the Grinnell wrestler fighting him off, it looks like.
Yeah, he's fighting him off a little better than we've seen in the past. But, again, he's got a arm underneath him. Grinnell boy has a leg in. He's got a leg, but he's got it wrong. He needs to be on the inside of it. And the Norwalk young man is had a half.
Okay.
Then he had a full Nelson.
Oh,
and that's
well,
illegal.
That's
so
that is potentially dangerous. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's illegal. So he gets a point
yeah.
for that one.
Okay. So 5 for Norwalk and should be 1 for Grinnell then.
Well, there should be 4 and 1.
Okay.
They pressed the wrong button somewhere.
All right. So 40 seconds. Oh, we're in the second period now in this second.
No, we're still
first period. Okay, I'm sorry. So 40 seconds gone, and now looks like a cradle that's being applied here.
Yeah, he got a cradle, and the young man from Grinnell almost had him on his back. And there's your fall.
57 seconds, time of the pin.
Unless the Grinnell kid did something illegal.
That could be too.
And if he did, that's why it was 5-0.
Okay. All right, so those are the JV matches at this point. So, Dave, I know how long have you been in the wrestling referee side of things?
I did it for 27 years, and then I quit about 9 or 10 years ago.
Okay. Let's take time out. We'll talk more about that subject, refereeing. That's been a critical issue here the last couple of years in the state of Iowa. We'll talk more about that. Let's take a break. We'll hear from some of our fine boosters on the Grinnell Tiger live stream, the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Hey there, I'm Joey Pollyi, third-generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you? Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit pollyi'sgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Pollyi's Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before or to start with a clean slate. Because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
The Tiger Sports Livestream Network is brought to you by Pollyi's Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, and Grinnell Mutual. Thank you for those quality sponsors of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network, and our scoreboards also brought to you by Grinnell Mutual also. So thank you again. John?
Thank you, Dan. Dan Walker, our DOO, Director of Operations of said Tiger Sports Livestream Network. So yes, absolutely. Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Dave. Gosh, I remember PA announcing here a couple years ago, first meet of the year. I can't remember who it was against, to be honest, but I remember that night. I'm getting to the point of the critical shortage of referees, okay? That night we had maybe it was a double duel here, and from what I heard that night, and this was 2 years before this COVID thing started to wrap. Maybe it was 2019. Has that been almost 3 years? Oh my gosh, time's just escaping here. So. Yeah, there was like 12 duels around the state that did not happen because of a lack of referees.
Yeah,
And now, so I'm just saying this refereeing situation is not just a short term. It's been out there for a couple of years.
It's been out there for a couple of years, but it seems to be getting more and more critical of where we're just not finding the people that we need. I will tell you that the quality of the officiating that I've seen this year has been absolutely tremendous.
Good.
There was one that I saw that was, I call him average.
Okay.
There was one that I saw that was good.
Okay.
Outside of that, it has been excellent plus.
Great.
And we absolutely love that because the kids learn what they're going to have to know and do as they hit the sectionals and districts and go on to the state tournament.
Well, and let's be real, this is not an easy sport to adjudicate by any stretch of the I mean, things happen fast out there. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting up here in the booth instead of out there on the mat. No, the kids got faster, and the moms got most of what I did the last few years. I was doing was little kids tournaments and junior high meets where the guys didn't want to, the varsity officials didn't want to come down and do them. But I enjoyed them. I enjoy kids. I love wrestling.
Yep.
And it's been a great time for me as I've officiated and got to know people. And I still have a lot of people that will come up and ask if I'm still doing it. But no.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not.
All right. So after tonight, this season is winding down quickly, so it seems. One more home meet, and that is a week from tonight here at the Grinnell Senior High Gymnasium, and that is Newton here for the final little Hawkeye Conference meet. I did ask Coach the activities director, Chris Coppin, I just sent him a text, is the Marion tournament still on for Saturday? That's where Grinnell is going to, and I'm going to quote, we're going to start intros at 7 o'clock. So right now our official time is 6:42 on this Thursday night on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. As of now, they're going to make the call about 5 o'clock Saturday morning. We're going to talk to the transportation director tomorrow night. So, yeah, it could, let's just say it's going to be iffy if Grinnell makes it to Marion, depending. They said the farther east you go, the snow might taper off. We'll find out. Of course, I live between Grinnell and Marshalltown, and according to my weather app called AccuWeather, or as I sometimes call Not So AccuWeather, they're saying 6 to 10 inches. Well, we'll see. We'll see what all comes together.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The last time we were supposed to get 10 inches, they missed it by about 7.
Well, yeah, they do that.
Unfortunately, if they're suggesting 10 inches and we get 7 more, it's going to be a while before we get out.
Yeah. So we'll just have to play it by ear, I guess, as far as the Marion invite, weather permitting, I guess is the best way to call it. Grinnell will wrestle at East Marshall at LeGrand against East Marshall GMG on Tuesday. I'm guessing there'll be another 1 or 2 teams. I can't remember who they are at this point, but I think there's another team or two for Coach Todd Heingartner and East Marshall GMG. Later on, February 5th, after Grinnell wrestles at Williamsburg on the 22nd, wrestles at Pella on the 27th, and at the 29th at Oskaloosa for the Little Hawkeye Conference Tournament. Sectionals are back here this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, February 5th. That is correct. February 5th, Class 2A sectionals are here at the gymnasium for the first time.
In a long time.
Well, we had districts here, Dave. I remember that time well. First year this gym was in operation. So let's see, we're in 22. I want to say that was in 2010. Let's see, Russ Crawford was still owning the radio station I worked at that time. So let's see, that's probably 05 even. That's going back a ways. Okay, so you know who I am and what I did. Yeah, I'm that guy. Okay. Yeah, I want to say it was around 05. We had teams. This was a district tournament where not every school in the state can host a district tournament because you got to have the facility to host it. You got to have a place, unlike some other schools, South Tama, that you get turned away. I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean no disrespect, South Tama Gym, but they've had district meets. They've had to turn people away from places. This was a good test for this gym because you did have South Tama, East Marshall, Benton, Denver Tripola, which when they were together was a wrestling power. Waterloo, Columbus. There were teams to the north and east, and of course Grinnell itself. This place held everybody. So which was great. So I know the teams here are South Tama, which will be probably the favorite team, I'd say here. Let's see, Oskaloosa's here. They dropped down from 3A to 2A. So, the only two 2A teams in the Little Hawkeye Conference, as it would be. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont is here. East Marshall, GMG is here. And West Marshall will be here. And Grinnell. So those are the 6 teams that will be here. The wrestling will start at noon on February 5th. So the top 2 in this sectional will advance then to the sectional in Sheraton.
In the district this
to
year.
the district this year, yeah. And I know the teams, and then Albee, I believe, is hosting the other half of the set of that district, and that's pretty much all South Central Conference teams in Prairie City, Monroe that'll head down that direction. So this Norwalk team that's getting warmed up, they're as I said, the defending Little Hawkeye Conference champions, and they'll bring a pretty salty lineup to the mat tonight. As I get their information from their coach, let's go back to that information real quick here. Jacob Brown, their head coach, first year again head coaching the Warriors. I think one of the highlight matchups tonight will be at 106. Grinnell's Dylan Heater has had himself a tremendous year, 30-1, ranked 11th in the state in Class 2A. He has beaten a ranked wrestler from Dallas Center, Grimes, who was ranked 6th in the state. He has beaten a Class 1A wrestler from North Tama twice this week. Manat, I believe, is his last name. He's pinned him and tech-falled him. Once at the North Mahaska tournament. One was at a multi-team duel at BGM. So he has faced some pretty good competition and has won against some very good competition. Dylan Heater for Grinnell, a sophomore at 106. Unfortunately, Grinnell has 5 weights they'll have to forfeit tonight due to just the numbers and some illness and things of that nature. What else could I tell you? The young man at 106 for Norwalk is ranked 7th in Class 3A by IAWrestle.com. That is the website now. It's not the Predicament anymore. It's now IA Wrestle, and you have to get a subscription if you want to see what the wrestling rankings are in Iowa, which I'm a little I'll just reserve comment. Excuse me.
Probably good.
Yeah.
I remember the Predicament where you could look every 2 weeks or so and get your rankings and now you have to subscribe. That's just a new way of doing business.
Or the Des Moines Register every Monday morning.
Well, the Des Moines Register, they did. That one. Now we're going back to that's a blast from the past, definitely.
That would take up that whole third page when they used to have a sports section that was 3 or 4 pages.
Oh, my goodness, yes. That was back when Dan
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah. Dan McCool, yeah. That was he was an icon in covering high school wrestling in Iowa, that's for sure. Now Cody Goodwin, I think does a great job, but certainly Dan McCool was he did a heck of a job back in the day, certainly. Another key matchup will be at 70. Josh Osborne from Grinnell is 28-4, and he's a senior. He'll wrestle against he's scheduled to wrestle a 4-year starter, Caden Nunez. So that'll be a good matchup and a battle of seniors there. Norwalk. Some other winning records for the Tigers would include Oliver Loudon. He's 20-8. He's wrestling at 195. He's a junior. His opponent's a first-year starter for Norwalk. These teams don't match up great, unfortunately, in the weight classes. 126 is a 2020 state qualifier named Trent Harper. He's ranked 12th by IA Wrestle again, this is Class 3A rankings for Norwalk. And Grinnell's 26-pounder is a first-year Alejandro Cantillo, who has 9 wins on the year to this point. So that'll be certainly a lofty matchup there for Cantillo in that matchup. 132, they have a wrestler ranked number 9 in the state and a 2020 state place winner, Donovan Card. Dominic Tigner at 52 was ranked number 10 by IA Wrestle at 60 or at 52. And he was ranked 10th at 60, but he's gone down a weight. Grinnell will have Gabe Gilman there. He's won 14 matches of the year. His brother Gabe Gilman is 19-14. He's a senior at 160, and their 60-pounder is a first-year Honor Fisher. So Grinnell's got a chance to score some points certainly in this match against a very good Norwalk team that I would say between they and Dallas Center Grimes, I'd say would be the two teams to beat in the conference tournament when it comes up January 29th at Oskaloosa. Some schedules might have Norwalk, but apparently Norwalk has construction at their gymnasium, so they moved it to Oski this year, is my understanding. So Norwalk getting ready to wrestle here. Grinnell, I think, is still
they're still in the wrestling room.
In the wrestling room,
they go till they come out for introductions, which should be at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock. So I will tell you that at Belle Plaine the other night, Grinnell went 2-2. I think they beat Belle Plaine.
I think BGM was one of the teams there.
I think they lost to BGM and they lost to South Tama.
South Tama, yes. So those are the schools, and I can't remember who the fifth school was now. I know there was a 5-school meet there, kind of a round-robin situation. But I'd say that, I know you're saying, well, yeah, Grinnell's wrestling smaller schools. Well, at this point, after COVID as in everything, you're fortunate you're wrestling anybody. Anybody will wrestle anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a 3A wrestling a 1A or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, we're just trying to get matches in at this time of the year, especially with all that's going on. The other thing that we had happen was Grinnell took first at New Sharon.
Yes.
In North Mahaska. They had 3 champions that day. We had Dylan Heater that won, and Cody McDonald. Or not Cody, but
Cody's son.
Cody's son, Logan. Is it Logan?
Yes, Logan, who's 26-7 on the year. Yes, thank you.
And then Oliver Loudon got first place in that tournament. So, and the team took first place. So that's a good reward for this Grinnell team.
So the assistants, we mentioned Tony, being the head coach in his first year after Chad Beck with over 20 years as a head wrestling coach. Grinnell hasn't had what you'd call a lot of turnover in wrestling coaches over I came here in '84, and I want to say it was maybe Paul Wagner and Denny Conway were the coaches. Does that sound right, Dave? I mean, you might know that as well as anybody.
When I graduated in '72, it was Finsky.
Yeah, I know Gene Finsky, coach, yes.
Gene Finsky, coach.
Yep. And that
trying to think of the assistant coach's name. I don't know how I could ever forget it as
Paul
much as
Stopples, didn't he coach wrestling for a while?
Who's that?
Paul Stopples, who moved to Marion.
He coached for a while, and then he went to officiating.
Oh, okay.
When he moved to Marion.
Okay.
And he always came back and did some of the matches there.
Okay. All right. But yeah, then Mike Allen. Mike Allen, of course, took over not long after, and probably about mid 85, 86 in that area, and had a nice run, a good 10 to 12 years. Then Chad Beck took over and stepped down after last year, and Tony teaches here at the high school, has coached multiple sports. He's an assistant football coach. He's also head girls tennis. So Tony keeps himself pretty busy here at GHS during the year.
Yeah, and that's a bonus to have a teacher that's your head coach. But I will say that I'm glad that Chad decided to retire, and I know tonight he was headed for Dubuque to watch his son as Central takes on University of Dubuque tonight.
Okay, you're talking about Brody?
Brock.
Or Brock, okay. Good. All right. So, and then is it? So Central's wrestling at Dubuque tonight.
Central's wrestling at Dubuque
tonight. Got it. Okay. Good. Well, good luck. That's American Rivers Conference for Division III wrestling is as good as it gets. That's for sure. When you got Wartburg up there as well, Central, I'm sure will certainly make a comeback again. They've been kind of up and down through the years, but Wartburg and Co. have kind of set the bar pretty high as far as Division III wrestling go, as far as the American Rivers Conference and for all Division III for that matter.
Actually, Jim Miller's son came back and started coaching at Loris.
Oh, really? Okay.
Starting to put a little bit of a dent in Wartburg's deal. Matter of fact.
I can imagine, yes. I wasn't aware, but that one, if Jim Miller's got a footprint on another school, that would not surprise me. That's good. I mean, I'm glad to see that the other schools' levels of competition, if you will, are rising, if you will, from that standpoint.
Yeah. Not only that, but we've got a lot of Grandview is doing a tremendous job at the level that they're at.
And
What is it?
NAIA.
NAIA.
Yes, they have. Nick Mitchell has a tremendous program there.
Job there.
Yes.
And one of the things where I have a granddaughter that's wrestling for Linville Sully.
Oh, really?
We're starting to see some college programs.
Yep.
Having that in their
in their agenda anyway.
Yeah.
And I think Grandview is one of them. Grandview
Grandview has one. I
Yep.
think William Penn has one.
University of Iowa's going to start one, the first major college women's wrestling program. So that's not a surprise.
No.
From that standpoint, but it's good to have that involvement certainly as far as high school wrestling and college wrestling. So we are at just a few minutes before the start of tonight's duel. We'll start at 1:20 for this duel tonight. Grinnell and Norwalk. Yes, Dave and I can fill time. That's not a problem.
John can fill time.
Well, I was hearkening back to 2000. Okay, I'm going to go back in the time machine here, about 2007, when you and I were at the state wrestling tournament in the Iowa High School Sports Network. Was it when we had the ice storm?
When we had the ice storm.
Yeah.
That was a highly entertaining evening.
That was fun.
It was fun. We did all the matches at the state tournament.
Yeah, it was on a radio network, yes.
Yeah. Because of the ice storm and everything that went on that night, they couldn't. There was a tower that went down for the TV that was supposed to do it, so we did all of the matches live for radio.
It was great. We started at 6 and I think got done
tiring.
right about 10. We had enough breaks. I think that kind of revived us and kept us moving along anyway. But we fed a statewide network. So the method to the madness was, okay, so we've got a station down in Mount Pleasant. Let's see who's like from Morning Sun or from Danville or from what are some of those schools down there. There's some really good wrestling down in that part of the state. So we wanted to make sure those affiliates were taken care of anyway. Waverly, Shell Rock, I think their station may have been on at Waverly. So obviously they were very good, and they still are today. Oh, boy. Waverly, Shell Rock, and Southeast Polk, probably the two teams to beat, I'd say, in 3A. They're two awfully good programs, period. So, and at times are nationally ranked. In the high school side of things. So Grinnell and their wrestlers on the mat now. So
just came into the gym, did their customary lap around the mat, and starting to warm up, going singles and doubles, and getting loose to get ready for the introductions.
Norwalk in the purple and black, and the Tigers in the orange and black, as we get set for high school wrestling. Again, next week we'll have the match with Newton here. That'll be probably a senior night, I would assume. It'll be the last regular season match here before the sectionals, again on February 5th. I've got to give a shout out to a friend of mine who might be on board. Dan Walker, if you find a unique viewer or listener from Brandon, South Dakota, possibly, right outside of Sioux Falls, my good friend Brian Meyer turned 60 today. And Brian, I've known for almost 50 years of my life on Earth. So hopefully he is having a great night, and I'll tell him, because he and I are big Twins fans and Minnesota Vikings fans, Brian, just make sure you wear your Minnesota Vikings mask, because, as you know, that's how to be safe. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, they don't catch anything. So that's the way to beat COVID. You got to have some, we got to have some lightheartedness, some lighter side of things during this heavy time of COVID and everything. So
yeah, this has been a really struggling. At least this year I can cheer because I'm in the gym. Last year I watched one high school varsity match because there was only, and actually, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I was not there legally.
Okay.
Because the email that went out to the coach that said one person per wrestler didn't get through his deal.
Oh.
So two of us showed up, and another coach says, well, I've got kids that didn't bring anybody. So he signed off for me, and I got to watch my granddaughter wrestle.
Well, there you go. Okay. It was
a win-win deal all the way around,
yeah,
Dave.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's just say that was not that day because she hurt her back that day.
Oh, no.
And we carried her off the mat, but she's better now, and she's wrestling.
So-
She's gearing up for girls' state.
And that's at Coralville
No, I think
Or-
that it will be at Waverly.
in Waverly. Okay. At Waverly Shell Rock High School would be my, if I remember, now that you mentioned that. And her name is?
Elizabeth Elliott,
Elizabeth Elliott. Okay, good. Well, West Elizabeth. And what year is she at Linville Sully?
a junior.
Junior. Okay. Well, introductions are going on. And again, at 120, it'll be Grinnell with Logan McDonald. Yeah, his dad, Cody McDonald, he was a very good high school wrestler back in the day. Gosh, Cody would go back to,
That was the same time as Darren and
back.
Brian Allen, and
So about 1990 maybe? Or what year was Darren here at Grinnell?
don't ask me that one.
Okay. It's been
They
a
had
while.
a good team that year.
Oh, yes. I know. I agree. It may have been a little Hawkeye Conference. I believe they were conference champions that year. Yeah, Cody was outstanding, certainly, and good to see him back. And it's his son, Logan, who's 26-7, a first year at 120. He'll wrestle against Jake McKenzie. That'll be the first match of the night. Alejandro Cantillo, 9 wins on the year at 126. Will wrestle against Trent Harper. Again, a 2020 state qualifier. 32, it'll be Donovan Card of Norwalk getting a forfeiture. Same at 138 for Norwalk. A junior, Brock Jensen, will get a forfeiture, it appears. 145, Grinnell will wrestle Taylor Doty, looking for his 12th win of the year. 52, Gabe Gilman, a senior. Looking for his 15th win, looking to even his record. He's 14-15. A win would give him a 500 record going into the next whenever his matchup will be. 52, though, he'll have again Dominic Tigner, who was a first-year starter, but was ranked 10th at 160 by IA Wrestle. 170, Josh Osborne, looking at 28-4 on the year, and his matchup against a senior, Caden Nunez. Okay, I skipped 60. I did skip 60. Yeah, Gabe Gilman is opponent again, a first-year Honor Fisher, a first-year starter. He's a junior for the Warriors. Let's see, 82. It looks like Grinnell is forfeiting there to a senior, Grant Kimball, for Norwalk at 220 or at 195. 95.
Oliver Loudon is going to wrestle Zach Miller. And senior at Norwalk.
Oliver is 20-8 on the year. Skylar Green is 4-5. A win would put him at 500. And at he's a junior. And their 220-pounder is Hunter Blumgren, a senior. And Grinnell is going to forfeit, appears 285. It'll be Maddox Borcherding Johnson, a junior. That'll get his hand raised there. But one of the highlight matchups, again, 106. When we get to that point, battle of ranked wrestlers, Dylan Heater and Grinnell and Tyler Harper. And due to copyright, we'll put a pause on things here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. All right, so it looks like I got a text saying you'll have a unique viewer from Brandon, South Dakota on there tonight. So yes, Brian caught his birthday greet. Hope he's having a great night. And yes, go Twins, go Vikings, absolutely. So.
And now the captains come to the middle
Yep.
mat, shake hands. They'll flip for whoever gets the choice of. Well, they'll flip for whoever has to come to the mat first.
Okay.
Or go to the head table first.
Okay.
And who will get the choice at the beginning of the second period.
Okay. All right. So the choice of, which team can switch, is that what you're getting at as far as?
Basically, now Grinnell takes the odd matches and they get their choice.
Okay.
They have to go to the bench first.
Okay.
If Norwalk wants to hold out, and they have their choice at the beginning of the second period. They can defer and make Norwalk take their choice, but that's what's decided by the coin toss there.
Okay, good to know. With Dave Kaiser, I'm John Martinson on the Tiger Live Sports Stream Network. Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Thank you. Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Got her. All right. And welcome aboard on this night of high school wrestling. You might be catching it live on Thursday night. You might be catching on the download. So, all right, this is the first matchup at 120. Logan McDonald, 26-7 for Grinnell. And Trent Harper, a 2020 state qualifier, ranked 12th by IA Wrestle in Class 3A. This will be one of the highlight matches of the night. And it looks like the young man from Norwalk has scored a takedown.
Did a really nice job of getting in on a single leg, and Grinnell was not able to fight it off and was taken down. All
right, so the Norwalk wrestler, again at 120. Again, that's, okay, this is Jake McKenzie, pardon me. Jake McKenzie, a returning state qualifier. So 20 is our first matchup. Again, David McCluskey of West Des Moines, who's refereed here several times. He is our referee adjudicating tonight's match. And again, 120, this McKenzie is a junior. Logan McDonald, a first year, and Logan 26-7, obviously had a good first year, but he's wrestling against a pretty good, if he's a returning state qualifier in 3A, he's very good and wins by pin in 42 seconds, it appears.
Interesting match. Sometimes I have to turn away from the mat. He had a chicken wing in, but he brought the chicken wing to the shoulder instead of to across the body like he was supposed to. So the referee didn't call it, so therefore we go on.
All right. So 126 should be the next matchup, or is this a JV match here? This might be a JV match.
No, I think this is probably 26.
It's 26. Okay, so this is Trent Harper from Norwalk in the predominant black, and for Grinnell should be Alejandro Cantillo. And this is a very good wrestler. Again, this is the young man ranked 12th by IA Wrestle, a 2020 state qualifier.
They didn't move Logan up, did they?
I think this is a JV match because they've taken the varsity matches off. Oh, I'm sorry? This is McDonald, okay.
That's what I think what they did was they bumped up him up and then maybe bumped two.
Okay.
But when you start to give up weight.
So it should be, I don't see a team score on there. They took the 6 off, so so this is, I guess this is.
Maybe that was a JV match.
That may have been too. Okay, that probably was the case then. So this is Logan McDonald at 20. And
Jake Kinsey then.
So this is Jake McKenzie. Okay. So Norwalk won all their JV matches by pinfall and in the first period. And
Grinnell was taken down, and the young man from Norwalk got high, and Grinnell was able to reverse him. Let's see if he can break him down and work for a fall.
And Cody looks like has some near fall points there. What's he working there, Dave?
He's just working a tilt. It's a 2-on-1 tilt. I don't think he got a second count, so there was no back fall point, but near fall points there.
Okay.
Now they're going to go out of bounds.
So we're tied 2-2. Okay.
18 seconds left in the first period.
All right. Match moving right along here. So that must have been a JV match, the first one. I have a hard time hearing Chad Rose, who's doing the announcing. I don't know if they've got his mic. Maybe they were anticipating me doing the PA possibly. I don't need a lot of volume, so.
Right there, Logan moved a little too early, got a caution.
Okay.
And so
no penalty points, but if it happens again, it
happens. If it happens 2 more times, then it's 1. And there's a tilt for
Cody McDonald, it appears. And a pin for Grinnell. Yeah, I see Dad is happy for his son and should be. Yeah, that's a nice win.
Nice win. And the pinning area goes almost halfway down the back. So maybe the kid thought he was all right, but
We'll say a minute 59. There were 0.7 of a second left. So we'll say a minute 59 for the sake of argument then.
so nice win.
Yeah, very
Glad
much
he
so.
got it when he did because we'd win into the second period.
Okay.
I just want to make note here that all of our periods are brought to you by Brent Nickel State Farm. If we get out into another period, so up in the top right-hand corner.
Okay, thank you, Brent Nickel. Like a good neighbor, State Farm, and Brent Nickel is there.
Now we're at 126. We're Andrello Catello.
And Alejandro Cantillo at 26 for Grinnell. Their wrestler, again, is Trent Harper, who's a ranked wrestler. If this is the matchup that we believe it is. Yep. I don't see there's 26 on there. Okay, I had to look to the scoreboard on the to our left, and it is, so this is Cantillo looking for win number 10, but it's going to be an uphill against a very good Trent Harper.
He shot in, did not go deep enough, and Harper was able to spin around him to get a takedown.
First period, 40 seconds gone, 2-0 Norwalk. This would be Trent Harper. Grinnell has scored a pinfall and 6 points, so 6-0 Grinnell through the first match.
But that will even out pretty soon because we've got a lot of forfeits coming.
Yeah, so. Grinnell is going to, and the contested matches, Grinnell is going to have to wrestle like crazy to stay in this team thing. So
Norwalk is using a chicken wing with a one-on-one on the other side, trying to go forward and turn him, which he is doing. Not quite enough. There's your near fall criteria. And the official is counting. If he gets a 5 count, then it's a 3-point near fall. If it's just, and there's your fall.
So 122, we'll say, like 38 seconds left in the first period. So minute 22 for the pinfall for Trent Harper of Norwalk. 132 is next, and it looks like Grinnell will not
have anybody. There's a limit to how far up you can move. As far as weight, you might have 3 people at 20, but they can't move up unless you want to move Cantello up.
Right.
And they can't move up that many weight classes. So
that's Donovan Card, who was a 2020 state place winner, ranked 9th by IA Wrestle at 138, should be next.
Brock Jensen.
And that would be Brock Jensen, who's a first-year starter for the Warriors. And Norwalk will get a win by forfeiture here, so it goes to 12-6 now.
Be 18.
And it'll go to 18-6. So all the young man has to do is
come out. But well, basically what it is they have to get him drawn up on the the computer.
Okay.
Computers are great when they work.
Oh boy.
Highly entertaining when they don't.
Yes. I think Dan could speak well to that side of things. Yes, technology is great when it works, and listen, the Tiger Live Sports Stream Network, it always works. Doesn't it, Dan? I mean, seriously,
it does most of the time.
Yeah.
We have those flaws once in a while. Just give you a score update from Oskaloosa.
Oh yes.
The girls are up 42-20.
Okay.
42. And Oskaloosa 20.
All right, there's a Grinnell Tiger game break. Yes, 42-20 Grinnell. No surprise. Grinnell scored 52 on Pella in the first half on Tuesday. They're playing really well right now.
Good.
So 145 is the matchup. And this is Doty, and he is wrestling Tate Turner, who's a sophomore, and Turner's a first-year starter, as Taylor Doty is for Grinnell, a sophomore.
Yeah, he got a takedown. He got him almost to his back.
Oh, boy.
And then Doty was able to get out, taken back down into a cradle. And
good job
now he's
getting
got
out of
the
it.
2.
Good job getting out of it. That cradle was pretty well cinched, I thought. But
yeah, it was 4-0 now on the minute and 13 seconds left in the first period.
So takedown and the 2-point near fall, that adds up to the 4. Now Doty trying to escape, but it looks like this doesn't look good.
Norwalk was able to pull Doty back and got another 2.
Okay.
Because he got him for a 2 count.
Right.
Starting to lock up another cradle, but he didn't get it.
This young man just trying to work some moves and
work some pin moves. There's a half. And Doty wings it down. Right now it's
6-0 Norwalk and 40 seconds left to go, first period.
And there Doty gets out, so it's 1.
Okay,
neutral now.
6-1 on the escape. Both wrestlers trying to get after each other. Both first-time starters on their respective teams. This is 145. Norwalk through the first 3 matches.
Does
first
snap
four,
down.
18-6.
Able to get his head out, get control for 2, so it's now 8-1.
And it goes major. The margin has to be, is it 8 points?
8.
8, okay.
Tech falls 15.
Okay. So 8 to...
Pins 2 seconds with your back to the mat.
1 second and end of the first period. 8-1 Norwalk, and that Norwalk wrestler again is Tate Turner. Second period being brought to you by Brent Nickel, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and so is Brent Nickel. Thank you, Brent, for sponsoring the periods tonight.
It was Grinnell's choice.
Okay.
He deferred.
All right.
Norwalk chose neutral because he's already got 2 takedowns.
Okay.
So snaps Grinnell down. Wasn't able to spin around that time. Therefore, he's able to spin around now and gets his 2.
And it's now 10-1. Tate Turner of Norwalk leading in this matchup at 145.
Grinnell has a Norwalk young man with his arm over his shoulder, which is where you don't want to be. He's reaching for a leg. But so far, he's not been able to score anything here.
32, 33, 34 seconds into the second period. 10-1 Norwalk. It's right now in major decision mainframe, if you will, and the 9-point margin. 8-14 scores. That's a 4 points for the team then. Technical foul will get you 5 team points. Pin will get you 6. Forfeiture is 6. Disqualification, if we don't want to come to that. I don't want to bring up, I mean, that's part of
Norwalk's
wrestling.
doing a really nice job of riding. He's got what's called an inside hook with that leg on the left. The Grinnell boy thought he was getting an advantage of it, but he hooked that inside leg, and he's able to ride him. Grinnell grabs the other leg. Now he's stepping across if he can get his head out, but he's getting his back turned. And the referee was counting back points, but I don't know if he's going to get back points.
Okay. Doty's doing a good job fighting this young man off.
Doing a nice job of not getting
taken down and turned over.
Turned for 3 near fall points.
Right.
Young man from Norwalk is doing a tremendous job of riding him and turning him to get near fall points or the pin.
15 seconds left, first period. Norwalk's Tate Turner leading 10-1. This is the second period. Down to 10 seconds left. Doty trying to just keep his base and not at this point not be called for stalling.
Well, he's getting turned right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't reach up and pull that half off of the head, but he wasn't able to turn him to get into criteria to get near fall points.
So 10-1 still the score. And we come to the third period again. This third period from Brent Nickel, State Farm Insurance. His offices at West Reed and 6th Avenue. Where you see the State Farm sign right in one of the main parts of town.
Grinnell chose up. Guy did 2 sit-outs and has his head.
Oh, nice move.
Finally got his head out and took him to his back.
And I don't think he's going to.
Now that he's able to come out of it.
Got 3
so
on the.
Got 3 near fall points, so it's 12-1. And he got an escape, or 15-1. And he got an escape, so it's 15-2 now.
Yep.
And if he gets this takedown, it will be a tech fall.
Yeah, you're at 13 points, and 2 points will make it. And that's that.
And that's a tech fall.
So
that gets 5 points for Norwalk. Did a really nice job, the Norwalk young man did, of riding and turning him to get the tech fall.
4 minutes, 35 seconds of time of that technical fall. And 5 on the board for Norwalk makes it a 23-6 score. As we go to the next matchup, that'll be at 152. This is a first-year, Dominic Tigner. He's ranked number 10 by IA Wrestle. He's wrestled as a first-year at a 52 for Grinnell. We gave Gelman as seniors 14 and 15. What it sounds to me, Dave, is when you get to an upper weight, you have a first year like that who's ranked. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. He must have wrestled a lot in AAU and to come in and to be ranked 10th in 3A.
Well, there's one other young man I can think of off the top of my head who was a first year who had great success in high school wrestling. This is a young man who's playing pro football right now, I might say. It was a 4-time state finalist, and it was a heavyweight all 4 years. That would be Austin Blythe from Williamsburg.
Okay.
Austin Blythe, who's now the backup center for the Kansas City Chiefs, was a starter for the Rams, started with the Colts. He was a 4-time state finalist and won a state championship his senior year. So, I mean, that's called persistence, staying with it. A lot of kids probably would have said, to be a first year at 280 at the 285 weight class and get state runner-up, I think is pretty impressive.
Very impressive. He was a tremendous athlete.
Yeah.
These guys are just doing collar ties, push-pull, trying to figure out how to get an advantage.
Hate to call Austin Blythe a backup anything because he's
good.
He's a stud, that's for sure. His father-in-law is a good friend of mine, Kurt Ritchie over at Williamsburg. Great guy, great family. So, all right, back to action here. I'm sorry, I deviated just a little bit off the beaten path. It's still nothing.
Norwalk young man was able to pull him down, but Gilman in response was able to come back and was going to bounce his head a little bit and didn't. Norwalk's able to shoot, got a single leg, got his head inside. Gilman's able to fight it off right now.
So we have
15 seconds left in the first period.
Still no score.
And still no score.
And coming up to 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Man, it looks like this is going to be a 0-0 tie
going in the second period.
Yep. And that wraps up the first period. As Brent Nickel, State Farm Insurance, bringing you each wrestling period of tonight's duel between the Grinnell Tigers and Norwalk Warriors.
It was Norwalk's choice. He was gonna defer to the next period, but decided to go down, see if he can score. Gonna be a caution on red. He jumped the gun a little bit. Doesn't hurt you. Now we got a caution on green because he did not wait for the official to tell him to come on.
Okay.
2 cautions.
All right.
Norwalk's able to stand up. Grinnell counters it with a single leg and gets reversed for 2.
So it's 2-0 Norwalk, and now a point for Grinnell on the escape.
On the escape, he just got shoved out of bounds, so we'll go back neutral in the middle.
Okay.
With a 2-1 score.
So with 22, 23, 24 seconds into this matchup.
Into the second period.
Second period, yep, second period. Again, brought to you by Brent Nichols, State Farm Insurance, the second period. And the matchup again at 1:52. Gabe Gelman looking for win number 15 on the year. Dominic Tigner. And again, this Tigner is a ranked 3A wrestler by IA Wrestle. He was ranked 10th at 160. He's now bumped down to 52. That takes a little discipline to move down in weight like that.
Yeah. Well, they have a descent plan where they can.
Oh, nice.
Did a nice trip, just was not able to finish it. And when Norwalk tries to come around and he's able to get to his feet, and those points there. Did a really nice trip. You just got to be able to finish those.
2-1, still your score. Norwalk leading Grinnell, and now Norwalk getting
the 2 snap points. Down, spin around, was able to get Grinnell's head down, and got a takedown there, turned him loose. Okay. So now it's 4-2.
So Gilman getting the escape point. We're down to 25 seconds left, second period. 4-2. It is Dominic Tigner of Norwalk leading Gabe Gelman of Grinnell. As this is,
does a nice shot, goes for a single, but he's got his head inside. 6 seconds, let's not keep spinning.
Oh my, nice.
And he gave up 2 with 2 seconds left.
6-2 will be your score going into the third period.
Got to keep spinning until the horn blows. So.
And that when you give up a point or the other team scores another point, it gives you a little momentum going in that last couple minutes of regulation. So 6-2, it is Dominic Tigner, first-year starter, but again, state ranked, 10th in Class 3A.
Grinnell stands up, was taken back to the mat, throws in a leg, gonna try and do a crossbody ride, see if he can turn him for back points. Puts the power half on. Well, I was gonna put the power half and changed his mind.
So we've wrestled 23, 24 seconds in this third period. Now we've got almost a pin combination
pulls him over to his back, gets 2 near fall points to make it 8-2. And now Norwalk boy has a bar arm series, but lost the arm. So now we go back to seeing what he wants to do.
So
Puts
this
in
is
a leg.
his brother Gavin will beat up next. Gabe Gilman on the mat now for Grinnell, trailing 8-2. Looking for win number 15, but if he wants to get there, it's going to be an uphill here, down 8-2 with just a minute left to go in this third period. A minute left now as you're watching on the Grinnell Mutual scoreboard.
Well, the nice thing about the interesting thing about wrestling is 3 seconds, and I don't care if you're up 14-0.
Right.
It can be done, and you can win.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, unless he gets up and moving and gets his head off the mat, that probability is going down quickly.
Yes. And
Young
so
man from Norwalk has a chicken wing in, has a far arm, has turned him onto his back, getting near fall time on his back for near fall. He's got at least 3 near fall. And Grinnell has just got pinned with 22 seconds left in the third period.
So 5 minutes, 38 seconds time of the pin for Dominic Tigner. That's at 52. 160 is next. Gabe Gelman, 19-14 for Grinnell. Gabe is a senior. 160 for Norwalk. It is Honor Fisher, a first-year starter, so a match Grinnell should be favored in.
Sometimes they just have 2 kids that are really good at a weight.
Yeah.
And we're going to move him up to see what he can do. And so it might be that he, this is his first time starting.
First-year starter, according to Coach, again, Jacob Brown, first year as head wrestling coach at Norwalk.
Did a really nice knee tap.
Nice move.
And got a takedown with about 3 seconds left. Cut him.
2-1. And hopefully that gets Gavin Gilman going here.
Gavin brings him down to the mat. And Norwalk comes back up, so they're both on their feet. Neutral position.
Sometimes that'll spur a wrestler getting taken down like that real quick. Said, I better get a move on here.
Norwalk shoots in, get a single. Gillen is trying a wizard, but doesn't get it. Gets taken down.
It's a fundamentally sound wrestling program at Norwalk.
Yeah, there's a reason he wanted to move him up.
Mm-hmm.
Got him in a cradle.
Boy. Yep.
Getting near fall points and a fall.
52 seconds of time of the pin for Honor Fisher. Fisher's a junior, by the way, for the first-year starter, and at 160. So win there for Norwalk, and that moves the team score to 35-6. We'll go to 170 next. And one of Grinnell's top wrestlers, a senior, Josh Osborne, 28-4 at 70. And Caden Nunez is a senior. He is a 4-year starter for Coach Brown and the Warriors.
Be interesting to see how this plays out then.
Yes, absolutely. So the match is getting underway. And this is a chance to see if the Tigers can get something on the scoreboard.
Norwalk does a slide by or a shuck by, but Osborne's able to counter it. We're still neutral in the first period.
Josh has one of the better records on this Tiger wrestling team between he and Dylan Heater, and I would just say Logan McDonald right up there as well. So those with 20 wins or more, and Oliver Loudon, a 20-win wrestler, is coming up here shortly at 85 for Grinnell.
Norwalk's able to shoot a single. Osborne's able to fight it off. Norwalk has an underarm, and they go back to neutral with a collar tie.
And this first period brought to you by Brett Nickel, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Brett Nickel and State Farm is there.
Norwalk was able to shoot in deep, got in, and he puts him in, I thought a cradle, but he didn't have that. He's able to take him down to his back.
Josh trying
at least 3.
Trying to bridge his way out of it if he can, but that's going to be a toughie here. He's got it cinched in pretty well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got it really nice, and now he's coming. Yeah. There's your pin.
Wow.
Minute and 15 seconds.
So Caden Nunez, the win by pin. And that's only the 5th loss of the year for Josh Osborne. So Grinnell will forfeit 182 to Grant Kimball, a senior. That'll move the score then to 41-6. 95 is next. And again, that's a young man from Norwalk will get his hand raised. And because of COVID, the referee's not putting the hand. That must be a COVID situation. I've just
they changed that. It used to be we raised the hand of the winner
physically. Yeah.
Now it's just he holds up the armband of the wrestler, and he raises his hand, and then that declares him the winner.
Okay. So 85 or 195. Oliver Loudon, a junior, 20-8. And 195 for Norwalk is Zach Miller. He's a first-year starter, but as we've seen, these first-year starters for Norwalk are
pretty good.
Yeah, there they are.
Oliver shoots in.
Oh, got a little roll over there. Oh, that hurt Loudon, but he's able to get a couple, maybe a takedown and maybe a couple near-fall points if he can get his way out of this predicament here.
Basically, what happened was Oliver shot in. Norwalk countered it. Oliver threw a headlock, and Norwalk rolled him through. Got 2 takedown, but did not get any back points on Oliver. So it's 2-0 in the first period. He has a cradle locked up.
Oh, now Oliver trying to get a pinning predicament, but nothing scored there. No gain of control. Now the Norwalk wrestler has him on his back.
And he got 2 near. He came out, almost had a reversal and almost had back points, but just wasn't able to finish it.
Okay.
Norwalk was able to come back and put him to his back for 2 near falls, so it's 4-0.
Under a minute in this first period, brought to you by Brett Nichols, State Farm Insurance.
Trying to lock up a cradle. As a matter of fact, he has it locked up, but Loudon's strong enough that he can't hold it.
Gets it out of it. Gets out of the cradle. 45 seconds left. 4-0 Norwalk. And again, that's Zach Miller, Z-A-K-K. I've never seen Zach spelled that way, but yeah.
As you go out of bounds, we'll come back with Grinnell on bottom.
So 38 seconds left. First period. Next matchup will be at 2:20. But let's get to this matchup. Oliver trying to get out of from the bottom here. And does.
He did. Basically, he did a really nice stand-up. The young man from Norwalk didn't lock it up.
And Norwalk wrestler trying to
shoots in, and Oliver's trying to fight it off. Norwalk's not able to complete the takedown, so it's 4-1 with 15 seconds left.
And Oliver wants to make sure it's no worse than a 4-1 deficit going into that second period. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Norwalk trying to shoot in is held off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. That'll end the first period.
As Oliver shoots in, but not enough time to finish it.
Second period brought to you by Brett Nichols, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Brett Nichols and State Farm is there.
Quick score update from Oskaloosa.
Yes.
The girls are on top, 61-27, with 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
All right. Very good. 61-27?
61-27. Excuse me. That's 7:15 left. So.
Okay.
Norwalk's choice. Norwalk chooses down.
So again, thanks for the Grinnell Tiger game break. Dan Walker on the score update. All right, and it's 4-1, and the Norwalk wrestler gets out of it.
Norwalk was able to stand up, couldn't finish it, went back down, came back up, and was able to get out of it this time.
Got the escape
we're in
point.
neutral. Ben Loudon shoots.
Uh-oh.
This is not good as he caught him.
And the pinfall is recorded. 2 minutes and 23 seconds time of the pin. And
did a really nice job of catching Oliver coming in and was able to toss him to his back.
That's Zach Miller.
Underhook.
Again, a first-year starter. And again, these first-year starters from Norwalk is showing you something out here tonight. 2:20 the next matchup, and this is Hunter Blumgren, a returning state qualifier. He's ranked number 2 in the state by IA Wrestle in 3A, going up against Skylar Green, a junior, who is looking for his 5th win of the year, and even his record on the overall season. He hasn't had a lot of matches, but he will be thoroughly tested by Hunter Blumgren. Hunter's pretty well put together. So
well-built young man.
Again,
and I'm guessing that's part of the reason he's ranked number 2.
Yep, he's a senior. And again, this first period brought to you by Brett Nichols, State Farm Insurance at 6th and West in Grinnell.
Gets an underhook, gets a body lock. Green has a headlock, but
brother. Oh, no.
And they're going out of bounds there, and there was no points scored, but that was a golden opportunity for either one of them.
Yes, it was.
That's kind of similar to what Oliver got in right away.
Yeah,
you get that barrel roll, and you just whoever's going to get their leg or arm out there to stop you.
Yep. So both in neutral, and looks like Blumgren trying to work his way in. But again, Green fending him off at this point.
Didn't underhook. Now it's the same.
And no, gave him two. Really?
Yep.
Okay, all
They
right.
expanded the mat.
Oh, okay.
He said he had control when his knees were still inbounds.
Okay.
And then they slid out.
Okay, all right. So 2-0 Norwalk. This is Blumgren again. Hunter
Used
Blumgren.
to be you did by toes. If the toes were in.
Oh, and now an escape point.
Yeah, but he walked right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So why he didn't spin?
There he
the
goes.
spin.
And he's got 2 points. Skylar Green with a 3-2 lead.
Right now he's riding in front of the head. In front of the shoulders. I would just assume that arm was behind the arm, unless he's trying for a cradle.
Skylar Green, a junior from Grinnell. Hunter Blumgren, a senior from Norwalk. And 47 seconds, clock running down in this first period. Our scoreboard from Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance. And now we've got,
Okay, here's what we got. We got a stalling call on Norwalk, and as Norwalk came, so that got Norwalk so he wanted to move. He stood up, and Green locked his hands a half a second too soon. So therefore, it's a penalty point.
Penalty point for Norwalk, and it ties the match at 3-3.
Up at 3-3.
All right, and so the Norwalk wrestler starts down. Green starts on top. Uh-oh.
Gets too high.
And we got a
goes
reversal.
over the top, so he gets a reversal.
Yeah, potentially dangerous, maybe. One for the. He must have maybe did something to it. Oh, when he got to that single, he may have done something to his shoulder, and he must have.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Well.
Now I wish we had instant review.
He was putting a pretty good stretch on it.
Oh
Let me put
boy,
it
he
that
was
way.
extending the shoulder just a little bit.
But there was a point given there.
Yeah, it was to Norwalk. Okay. If we've befuddled Dave Kaizen, hey, we're all befuddled as to why Norwalk was granted the point.
Unless he asked for an injury timeout to prevent the shoulder or whatever, but
Okay.
or Grinnell did something that was illegal.
That could be. Well, it's 5-3 anyway. You slice at Norwalk, and there's an escape point for Grinnell. And their collar and elbow once again. 15 seconds left to go in the second period. Or
Green
first
likes
period,
to
pardon
keep
me.
that
First
elbow
period.
high, and that young man knows how to use the underhook.
3 seconds, 2 seconds. It'll be 5-4 Norwalk.
Well, there's a shot, but it's not in time. Goes into the third period, 5-4. It should be Green's choice.
They got second period on the board.
It'll be third to
Okay, third. Okay. All right. So the third period coming up for Brent Nichols State Farm Insurance. They've still got second period on the board. I thought it should be third. I think you're right.
I actually think it's still second.
Is it still second? The first period went a little longer.
Because they had that timeout.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
There's a reversal. He gets Green out of position, able to grab the leg and get a reversal.
So 7-4 Norwalk.
Breaks Green down. He's got the chicken wing. Got the other arm. Puts a half in. Green and at least pulls it off, or tries to, but he's not able to. Therefore, it gives the guy a choice of which direction he wants to go. Fight me one way, I'm going to throw the half, which he's doing.
Oh, boy.
Turns him over.
And now we may have another shoulder injury here.
No, it's his right shoulder instead of his left shoulder.
Yeah. The young man is certainly cranking on the...
I didn't see anything.
So they gave him a 3-point near fall on
Near
that?
fall. Even what you do is if you have to stop it for injury, you step it up to one more. In other words, if you should have got a 2, they step it up to 3 because we stopped it for injury.
So it's now 10-4 Norwalk. That's the score we see on the Grinnell Mutual scoreboard.
Very strong young man from Norwalk, and he's
yeah.
able to Okay, because this is his second injury timeout,
Okay.
the Norwalk young man gets his choice
Okay.
of where he wants to go. He
Down
wants
or
to
up,
go down.
or neutral.
He can go down, up, or neutral.
And now we've got a caution,
On Green because he didn't wait for the official to come. Now, if Green asks for it again, the match is over.
Okay. All right, so Green starting on top for Grinnell. 1:20 left to go in this second period.
Riding with the across the throat,
Oh,
getting high again.
Blomgren working on a reversal. Green
Doesn't
fighting him
get
off,
it.
staying on top. Blomgren coming up, and now Green cuts him loose. A escape
Gets him
point
1
for
point.
Norwalk.
Minute left.
Hunter Blomgren leading 11-4. Again, ranked number 2 in the 3A, the big school class by IA Russell. Returning state qualifier, I might add. Norwalk has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 state qualifiers, and 1 was a state place winner. That was Dominic Card, who won by forfeiture earlier tonight. So that's a pretty hefty group coming in.
Yep. Two men went out of bounds. They started neutral in the middle. Norwalk had a nice underhook there that he really likes to use. Green is able to separate. Comes back to him.
So there's 30 seconds left right now. 11-4, Blomgren of Norwalk. We're in the second period. So it's just a decision at this point, and Green trying to keep the deficit from
Norwalk young
anymore.
man likes that underhook, and Green put his arm up and said, "I'll be glad to do that."
Green's got a couple points on him so far, but 11-4. Now Blomgren with a tight waist and brings him down and scores 2. So 13-4. Now we're in major decision territory, and that runs out the second period. 13-4. And that third period coming up, coming away for Brett Nickel, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Brett Nickel and State Farm is there.
Score update from
Yes.
Oskaloosa. The girls are victorious, 77-30 over Oskaloosa.
Had the continuous clock going tonight, so they had a 35 or more margin. So the boys will be up next, and this is actually game Grinnell could win in that boys game. So 77-30. Good job, Trent Ensign and company. They ring up 70 plus once again. So okay, back to the wrestling action. And Green's on top for Grinnell.
Green did a nice job of stopping his first move. He likes to ride on the front side of the shoulder, which is really difficult. He's got a leg in,
brother. Green did a nice job getting out of that. I thought he was dead in the water there, but that didn't happen that
to
way.
Reversal to near fall.
Yep.
To reversal to Green again.
One more.
So it's 17-6 now.
Okay, 11-point margin, so still in major decision country, and Blomgren gets another 2, and then 2 more will declare the match over on a tech fall. If that should happen, we'll see. 19-6 now. It's a 13-point margin. 2 more will end it.
But to get the 2 points, you either got to cut him and take him down, or you have to turn him. Does a nice job of putting a half Nelson in, and Green doesn't respond by pulling it off. If he gets back to his belly, that match is over.
Yep.
22.
So 5 minutes and 10 seconds, the time of the tech fall. And Hunter Blomgren puts 5 more on the board for Norwalk, 53-6. They'll get 6 more on a forfeiture at 285. That'll be Maddox, Borcherding, Johnson. So 6 will ring it up to 58-6.
And then we're coming up to the match that
Actually,
we
should
see.
be, by the time they ring that on there, it should be 64.
64, okay. So this will be a forfeiture for the Warriors.
So that means we're going all the way to 106.
Yes, and this is one of the highlight matches of the night.
We'll see how it happens.
Dylan Heater ranked 11th. He's 30-1 in Class 2A, ranked number 11 by IA Wrestle. He's beaten 3 ranked wrestlers between Class 3A and 1A here in the last week. Dylan Heater. And
he's going against number 4. That's
a
tough week.
Yes, it is. Yes.
See how
Tyler Harper ranked 7th by IA Wrestle in Class 3A. He's a Freestyle Nationals All-American.
Yeah, I didn't. He shot in and got an ankle, but Dylan was able to fight it off.
Oh, Dylan
did a nice
takedown.
Job
Beauty.
of doing a move and taking him down. Too bad he couldn't complete that to his back.
All right, Heater Has him in control right now. Great job.
Harper standing up. He's got to either take him down or turn him loose, and he turns him loose.
We'll see Grandpa Heater from Gilman are
there. He goes in for a single, gets it up.
Uh-oh. And Dylan trying to fight it off, and he gets out of it. Nice job by Dylan. Boy, that didn't look good for a second. What's happened there, Dave?
They went out of bounds.
Okay.
They gave the 2.
Wow.
I think Norwalk got the 2 for the
takedown.
Norwalk got the 2, but I'm not so sure he's not going to pull it off.
All right, I think we're going to have maybe a coach's discussion. No. So 3-2 Norwalk.
And what he's saying is there was no control there. Therefore, we're going back neutral.
Oh, now 2-1 Grinnell. Okay, so yeah, no 2-point.
No 2-point takedown there.
Oh, and a caution on
red.
Norwalk. Yep.
That's not a bad deal. If you don't get the caution, you get the takedown.
True. So 2-1, Dylan Heater. He's looking for Grandma and Grandpa Heater if they're in the crowd here from. Oh yeah, I see them down there. Okay.
Did a nice carry before. Norwalk says not this time. Shoots.
And of course, Dad runs the lawn care business of said name.
Okay. We're neutral in the middle. Both of them had a chance to score. Neither one could.
All right. So 2-1 still. We're at 47 seconds left to go. Clock running down here in this first period. Good match so far.
Been a great match so far. Dylan reaches, doesn't get it, shoots.
Dylan again, a sophomore.
Oh, he pulls him in, gets a double, does a nice job, gets 2.
And maybe trying to get a couple near foul. Oh, I don't know if he's going to get his near foul points.
No.
Came close, but not quite.
No.
Again, Tyler
if
Harper.
It's on both elbows, you start to count, but when it's on an elbow and an arm, you don't get a count. 4-1.
So Freestyle Nationals All-American means he's been in the Fargo Dome.
Been in the Fargo Dome, but freestyle has completely different sets of rules than what we're watching tonight.
Sure. But it's a way for them to work in the offseason and get them ready for the high school season, basically. So, all right, it's 4-1 now.
Does a nice job of breaking him down, trying to reach for, it's got a ball and chain, trying to reach for the chicken wing to put with it. 3 seconds left. He probably won't get anything in this period.
4-1, Dylan Heater. Good start for the young man. He's wrestled some awfully good competition and leading in this one. And now Dylan is saying he wants to go neutral. Is that what the cross arms are?
Means it's deferred. I don't know who chose neutral, but we're going to start neutral.
Okay. So, cross arms means deferring the choice. Okay.
To the next one.
Got it.
To the next period.
Next period, okay. So 4-1, Dylan Heater. Great matchup here against the sophomore from Norwalk, Tyler Harper. Both sophomores in this one.
There's going to be a lot of good matches, but next year we go to a different conference. There is a shot in. Got a nice job to a single. He's trying to. There's 2. Count them.
Oh my God! It's not. Yeah, he didn't. Oh, that should have been a couple of near fall points, and he didn't give him near fall. Well, the wrestling Grinnell coach is not terribly pleased with that, and I understand that. Should have been more. Yeah,
did a really nice job of getting a takedown there. He's up 6-1. The boy's back was exposed and in criteria. Therefore, we should have got some extras.
Yeah, I saw the Grinnell coaches our left and
doing a really nice job of riding. He's got a chicken wing in, getting all of his weight on the young man from Norwalk, going to a ball and chain. Once he gets that secure.
Dylan leading 6-1. Dylan Heater from Grinnell.
Probably going to go either a chicken wing or a half on the other side.
So, yeah, new conference next year. You're talking about the WAMAC conference?
Yeah, and it's a really, really tough one for wrestling.
That may be the best wrestling conference in the state regardless of class. I mean, you led by the team that is favored to win another 2A title in West Delaware. So, all right. 30 seconds left right now. 6-1 Dylan Heater.
And they go out of bounds. Grinnell will be on top as they go back to the middle of the mat.
With so many teams in that conference, they could start that tournament at like 9 in the morning and be done probably at 9 at night. I mean,
do they do that? Do they do a full conference or do they do half and half?
I'm pretty sure it's a full. It's a super tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. They wrestle in one side and the other, and you wrestle. I think
maybe the top wrestlers wrestle against each other across.
I don't know how they do it, but
I think track and field does.
And they might have to do it where they go to a Friday night
Saturday,
because you're limited to only wrestling 5 times.
Okay. Might be a Friday, Saturday.
Because that's 14 schools.
Yes, I know, yes. North Iowa Cedar Lake, like East Marshall, is the same way. That's a ton of schools in their East and West Division, and they used to do 2-day. I think they just have 1 day, is my understanding. So, or maybe it's 2. It's been 2-day for a while.
Run out of time in the second period, going to the third. Grinnell's
my
going down.
own home school there's pretty strong up there in wrestling this year.
They are, and they'll be the team to beat here February 5th when they come to sectionals. Yes, Nathan Van Dyke, I believe, is still head coach up there in South Tama.
Yeah.
He was a stud back in the day. I remember that. State place winner, may have been a state champion from what I remember, but he was awfully good with Jay Hosky leading the way, that's for sure.
I think they were really good as a team at that point in time, too.
Yes.
Grinnell went down.
7-1, Dylan Heater, your leader. And this third period brought to you by State Farm Insurance and Agent Brett Nickel in Grinnell.
He got out. Young man from Norwalk shot in. But so far, Dylan is able to fight it off. And the referee calls a stalemate because nobody can improve. So we got 1 minute and 23 seconds left in the third period.
All right. With Dave Kaiser, this is John Martinson, Dan Walker on the camera on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. We're happy to join us wherever on God's green earth you're viewing this webcast, whether it may be live or if you're downloaded to your heart's content. And Tyler with a nice takedown. That's Dylan Heater.
Nice job of countering and then shooting in again, doing a double shot and getting the takedown. And right now has him close to being in criteria.
So
he has him in criteria and at least has 2. So he will add to his score if he doesn't get the fall.
9-1, it'll be at least 11. And now I'm not sure why he decided to.
Oh, sometimes when you're in that move, if you reach back and pull the leg forward, then it's a illegal move, or potentially dangerous.
Okay, 13-1.
What it did do for the young man from Norwalk is it gave him a fresh start.
36 seconds left, and this third period on the Grinnell Mitchell scoreboard. Oh no! Now the Norwalk wrestler's got a pin, and he scores a pin. Oh my goodness! Oh, that's a tough one. Only Dylan's second loss of the year, and that comes at 5:31. Tyler Harper wins by pin, and you just said it, Dave, earlier tonight, where
you might
can
be up by 13-4.
Oh my goodness! And how quickly
got caught in a move and taken to his back. And,
wow!
That is all it is.
70-6, and this will be a win by forfeiture. That should be the match. That should be the night. 76-6. Oh goodness sakes! That's a tough one. Second loss of the year for Dylan Heater. Goes to 30-2.
I can guarantee you he will be studying the film on that one.
Yes.
I'm guarantee you they're going to see each other again.
Oh boy, that'll be the final. So let's take a break as we have come to the end of the duel match. As you're watching coverage right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. We hear from these fine boosters of Grinnell Tiger Athletics.
Hey there, I'm Joey Pollei, third generation owner of Polley's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you? Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit polleisgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Polley's Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before. or to start with a clean slate. Because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
The Tiger Sports Livestream Network is brought to you by Polly Ice Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, and Grinnell Mutual. John, Dave, excitement for the night.
Yeah, yes. So let's tell you how things went together. 120. Grinnell got things off and running a good, the only win of the night. Again, first year Logan McDonald wins by a pin in 1:59 seconds, where 7/10 of a second left. So I don't call that 2 minutes. I'll call that 1:59. 1:59.3, yeah. So win by pin by Logan McDonald, but it was Norwalk taking over after that. 126, Trent Harper wins by pin in 42 seconds, or actually 1:26, pardon me. 132, Donovan Carr by forfeiture. 138, Brock Jensen wins by forfeiture. 145, Tate Turner wins by tech fall in 4 minutes 35 seconds over Taylor Doty of Grinnell. Taylor did a nice job trying to keep him fended off as long as he could.
Yeah, he did a really nice job, and unfortunately, the Norwalk is in tremendous condition, and sometimes they were just wearing the Grinnell Tigers down.
So I was at 45 and 52. Dominic Tigner, a first year, won by a pin in 5 minutes 28 seconds over Gabe Gilman of Grinnell. At 160, first year varsity starter Honor Fisher, a junior, in 22 seconds, won by pin over Gavin Gilman. 170, it was Josh Osborne falling to Caden Nunez, a senior. That was a pinfall for Nunez. 182, Grant Kimball, a senior, wins by forfeiture for Norwalk. 195, Zach Miller wins by a pin in 2 minutes 23 seconds over Oliver Loudon. 220, Hunter Blumgren, who again ranked second in the state in Class 3A, wins by a pin in 5 minutes 10 seconds over Skylar Green of Grinnell. Skylar hung in there well against a young man who certainly was worthy of a number 2 ranking in the state.
Yeah, did a really nice job. Unfortunately, Skylar's got some, I'm assuming, shoulder issues.
Yeah.
And wants to complete and finish out the season. But finally just got wore down and turned. He forgot to reach up and take the half off. And if you don't do that against somebody that's really strong and you're tired, you're going to go over.
And then 285, a forfeiture then for Norwalk. Maddox Borcherding Johnson awarded the win by a forfeit. And then at 106, again, Dylan Heater from Grinnell up, 13-1 at the time, and then things just kind of did not go his way.
It doesn't matter whether you're ahead by 14 or not. Wrestling is a sport that in 3 seconds, even if you're on neutral, you can be, the match can be over. And Dylan wrestled a very, very good match up until the time that he was turned. And he got pinned, and we look at the film, and they will see each other again.
In Oskaloosa, more than likely in the finals again, or it's a Dallas Center Grimes wrestler who's ranked number 6 in Class 3A. So that feels going to be awfully loaded come conference tournament time. Between Dylan Heater, I'm not sure the young man name is from Dallas Center Grimes, ranked 6 in 3A, but Harper's ranked number 7 in 3A. So that's a really, really good weight class there. And the good news is Dylan won't see those wrestlers then after the conference meet. They'll be wrestling in a different class altogether. And then the night wrapped up with a win by forfeiture for Aiden Moret, a first year from Norwalk. So 76-6, I believe is how the final score ended. But Norwalk winning. And that's how the match wraps up here tonight, here at the Grinnell Senior High Gymnasium. Thank you to our sponsors helping make it all possible and bring it home to you on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. We hope you enjoyed the action as much as we enjoyed bringing it home to you. As I like to say, as we wrap things up, it was real. It was fun, and as always, it was real fun. There you go. Okay.
Getting closer.
You are. Yeah, that's, So anyway, we will do this again next week. Unfortunately, I won't be here. I have to be in Cedar Falls next week for the Mark Mezzers. I have track announcing duties next week. So, yeah, So anyway, Newton will be here next week. We'll start things about 6:30ish again. Somewhere, I'm not sure when exactly. JV will.
Next week's an early one, I believe.
Is it early next week? Let me check the website here real quick. Newton, it says 6. Okay, I have 6:30 on the Little Hawkeye Conference website.
Yeah, on the JV part of it.
Yeah, right.
So we could be.
So first matches are scheduled for 6:30 start anyway. So
6:30 is varsity and 5:30 is supposed to be JV.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
All right.
Sure glad you checked. I'd been at.
Yeah. So again, the Grinnell Marion Invitational Saturday is let's just say
On hold.
On hold. Yeah. Can we get out of town permitting? Depends on how much snow falls here, and we'll just have to see how things play out. Winter storm warning in effect. It'll start snowing sometime tomorrow.
It's not only what you have now; it's what you're coming back to after a full day of wrestling, and we want the kids to be safe.
Yes. And then at East Marshall on the 18th, which is on Tuesday. And then, again, the sectionals here on Saturday, February 5th. Oskaloosa, Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont, East Marshall, GMG, South Tama, West Marshall, and, of course, the host will be Grinnell here in this spacious gymnasium. We passed the test in 05 with districts held here. Everybody got in the gym. We didn't have to turn anybody away. This will be a piece of cake by comparison. So for Dave Kaizen and Dan Walker, the Director of Operations of said Tiger Sports Livestream Network, I'm John Martinson. As you've been listening and watching tonight's action, which is a presentation of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Wherever you're at on God's green earth, good evening, good night, and stay healthy and be well.
This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network is a violation of the law.